Hi, welcome back to my channel, Learn Payload with Colin. Today we're going to be going over global configs, and this is part of my first 100 video series. This is where I'm, as quickly as I can, I'm going to be producing my first 100 videos as quickly as I can, hopefully less than 15 minutes each. This is 6 of 100, got a ways to go. But today we're talking about global configs. What are they? How do you integrate them? What are they for? And the reason why I'm doing that today is based off of your feedback. A couple of you guys commented that you wanted me to go into a little bit more in depth, even though these are quick videos. I do understand. And so, yeah, I'm taking a little bit of a different approach than when I started out. And now I'm going to do a little bit deeper dive on a very specific topics rather than everything at once. So I'm just going to go through the documentation and go through each topic one by one for each of these videos and hopefully produce something in less than 15 minutes. And so yeah, today's global configs. What are they? How do we work with them? And so here we have the documentation for it. And I like to think of a global config as if you're familiar with WordPress, and a lot of my clients, and I've worked with WordPress for many years, and if you look at their settings page, general settings would be like a global config. And so compared to collections, global config you can think of as like a single document, whereas a collection is a collection of documents, and so you don't need multiple settings pages. You just have one settings, so it's just like a single document. And so what I want to do for today is I want to actually kind of reproduce the idea of a general settings page, and like with a title, a site title and tagline. What else do we want in here? Maybe an admin email address. We won't get into time zone or date format, time format. Yeah, let's just start with site title and tagline. So we're going to use global config for doing site title and tagline in a general settings tab on the left panel of Payload. So that's what we're going to do. And so we're going to do that with a brand new Payload install. With the create payload app command. Project name, global settings demo. And as always, we're going to be choosing a blank template. We don't want to be influenced by any of the boilerplate that's provided. Although we can learn from it, but I always want to start off with a blank template. We're going to be choosing Postgres. And my previous video, 5 of 100, is devoted to connecting to a Postgres database. So if you want to see how that's done, go ahead and look at the previous video. The URL for that is exactly how they have it, except I don't have a password. The user is Postgres. Port 5432, and it will automatically create this database for me. Great. We have an app. Let's cd into it. And because we're running PNPM, we're going to run pnpm dev port 3000. And it should load here any minute. And there it is, our new blank template. This is a this is a new feature, I guess, for the blank template. They've offered this front page, whereas before, if you installed the blank template, you would have gotten a 404 because it did not come with a front end. It was only the admin panel, and so you had to create your first front end, your home page, which is fine. But now they offer the front page for you, even with a link to the admin panel. But we're going to open this up in NVim. So this is a fresh install. You can see they have the front end routes now, including styles. It does not include Tailwind, but you can see here's the page. So we're not going to mess with any of that, but so we're going to add our first global config. To define a global config, use the globals property in your payload config file. Okay. And so what you do is you create a file, and we're going to do it right in apps, or a source. We're going to create a new folder in source, and put our configuration inside of there. So we can say globals, and then we'll call it general settings, and then config.ts. You can call this whatever, and you can actually save this anywhere you want. But I like to keep things organized, and so this is how I will organize them. I have a folder for it because we may end up having some custom components or something else that we need to have included along with general settings. So we have that config. Let's go back to this. So first let's import that. Then here, requires a slug, and we're not going to call this nav, we're going to call this general settings. And so the slug will be general settings. Okay. And then you just add what fields do you want for your general settings. And in our case, we want a title and tagline. That is an array. So we want name. These are just going to be text fields. We want name, and this would be title. And type would be text. We want required true. We want, that's an array. I think that might actually be all that we need. Let's add, oh, I forgot to put, this is an object. There we go. And then add one more field. And it will not be required. Okay. And we don't need any of that. What I want to do, options group. I'm going to be using group, but I don't want to yet. I want to show you why. So let's get it wired up into the payload config through this one. So globals. And that would be in here. We'll put it right under collections. And then we'll just see, hopefully this will, general settings, there we go. All right, now that we have our site running, go to our admin panel. It's going to ask us to create our first user. And there's our globals. So we have the out-of-the-box collections for the blank template, and then general settings, title and tagline, globals. It would be nice if I can call that settings, and then under here, you would have all of your different settings, like yeah, any like if you want your localization issues or membership or admin email, that kind of stuff, we can separate that out in a similar way. But yeah, for now I think that's all we're going to need. I'll customize this later, but we have our globals working. And so let's get it connected to the home page. So we'll do global and then from the learn payload CMS with Colin. Okay. Now, if we go back to our front end. You will see that it's already loaded up the payload local API function, and it's grabbing the user. And so how you query your globals and let's see, let's go into their local API. And if you go through here, globals, find, great. So this is exactly what we want. We want this. We don't need, we just want, and if you recall our slug, and it's auto-suggesting, it's smart enough to know that I have that. Oops. That's weird. And you'll see that's in here. Slug is general settings. And that's why I have that there. We don't need depth, locale, we don't want that, user, over, we don't need any of this for now. We just want that. Oops. So now we're just gonna console log that out. And you should also see this too. You can see the data here. So if you go to this and open up I have it logged out. Yep, here's all the information from my global settings. So we'll just rename this variable, or we can do this. We can say title tagline. And then all right, now let's add those variables. All right, cool, it's working. So we'll do one more thing and we'll make a change to the text and see it get updated. And there it is. And that would be it for this video, 6 of 100. For number 7, we're going to be diving into blocks. So we're going to go through the different field types. We've seen the text field, obviously, but now we're going to go through what a block is and how we can really get some value and take advantage of them. You can see here yeah, there's all kinds of stuff about those. So look for that in my next video. Thanks a lot.